Good.
All right, welcome everybody to today's Coach's Luncheon. Happy February to you. I'm kind of happy it's February because that means more daylight. Maybe not more warmth, but more daylight, so that surely helps to get through the winter. So just one announcement before we let the coaches come up and talk about their athletes and their competitions is tomorrow night, February 2nd, at Wings and Rings, the one on Sheridan Lake Road, not to be confused with the other one, but Buffalo Wings and Rings, we're going to have our football signing day party. So happy hour starts at 5 p.m. and then the Hard Rockers Social will be from 6 to 7:30. So if you're looking for something to do tomorrow night, we'd love for you to join us and we can hear about the recruits that Charlie and his coaches have been hard at work to bring to the School of Mines. So with that being said, I'll turn it over to the first coach. I think Eric, are you up? No. Did I have Steve? All right, Steve, you're up.
All right, well, a couple more meets under our belts. We went to Black Hills State 2 weeks ago for the Dave Little meet. That's usually their biggest meet of the year. We go into that one expecting to get some good times and see some good competition, and it didn't disappoint. We walked out of there with 20 PRs. We had 12 new top 10 marks, and we came away with event wins in the with Ethan Pitlick in the men's 400. Warren Meinrich, who was here last time with me in the weight throw, picked up another win, and then the men's 4x4 closed out the day for us, so that was pretty exciting too. Guys and gals really competed hard. We saw some really good times. You know, several of those top 10 times came out of the men's and women's 5Ks, which is really encouraging for that group. And then just kind of sprinkle that in throughout with some of the other groups. Then we went to Chadron State. We walked out of Chadron with a new school record in the men's long jump. Jeremiah Bridges, first guy to go over 7 meters indoors for us. That's a huge mark. The long jump is one of the deepest events in the conference this year. I've told you over the years that it's getting deeper and it's getting tougher throughout the conference to be good. And 7 meters, to give you an idea, is basically 23 feet. So when you got, right now, his 7 meter mark, a few years ago that would have put him in the top 5 in the conference. This year it puts him 10th. So we have a little bit of work to do still. You know, biggest thing for him right now is just getting him consistent on the board. He also walked away with a win in the 60 meter hurdles with a mark that put him in the top 10 all time as well. We had 29 more PRs at Chadron and 9 more top 10 marks. Some of our other event winners there. Travis Kleinsaucer came out of the day with 4 PRs and won the heptathlon. He set PRs in the 60 hurdles, the shot, the long jump, and the 1K. Anytime you do that, you know you're having a good hep. The only guy that had a better hep than him, even though he didn't beat him, was Aiden Thompson, set 7 PRs. So that was a really good day. The only event Aiden didn't get a PR in on that one was the 60 meter dash. So then we won both the men's and the women's 400. Cameron Scully won the women's, and Isaac Orozco got the win on the men's side. And then the 3Ks were a lot of fun to watch. We had on the women's side, Allison Hayden, who was one of our cross-country athletes of the week earlier this year, picked up the win there. We swept the top 6 spots out of 11 runners in that field. And then on the men's side, we swept the top 4. We only put 4 guys in and got the top 4 spots out of, I want to say it was about 11, 12 runners there as well. So pretty good weekend for us overall. With Groundhog's Day coming up, you know, I thought maybe you could use a little deja vu, so we'll bring Jade Cass over. So, you know, Jade's one of those guys that you can never say enough about, and he's one of the hardest working guys you'll see around. He probably spends more time in the King Center than just about anyone else in here, so you know, I always want to make sure that we recognize those people, so I'll let Jade kind of take it away.
Like you said, I'm Jade Cass. I'm a junior academically from Hereford, Colorado. In sports, I'm sitting about a sophomore, freshman, just because of COVID and some other things. At both BH meets, I had I set an indoor PR and I jumped 199, which in feet that's about 6'6". I won the first meet, got second the next one. And this last weekend I started the HEP, I ended up hurting myself, so I sat out a little bit.
Now, what he's being modest about is that while on the same jump that he hurt himself, he set a PR.
Yeah.
So, in the long jump. So.
My brother went to the school, played basketball, graduated with his master's. And I knew this was a good school. I really wanted to come here pretty much my whole life. Grew up in the gym watching my brother, and I guess when I started looking at schools, it really didn't even occur to me to go anywhere else. So I came up here and I talked to Steve and started doing track, and this is where it clicked. Any questions?
You have other duties in the athletic office? What else do you do?
So I do stats at football games. I help run your murals. I do whatever Anita tells me to, or whatever anyone else in the office tells me to do. Yeah, I spend about anywhere from 12 to 14 hours a day in the King Center, 5 days a week, so I really do live in that building.
He does get to class, in
I
case
do.
you're wondering.
I guess I should
need to
say
make
on-
sure of that.
I guess I should say on campus. I spend 12 to 14 hours on campus.
So I think you put 20, 25 pounds of muscle on this year. Is that your goal this year, or?
Changing from the high jump to the HEP required a lot more strength in places I really didn't have it. So that just kind of came with as workouts changed, and as I started doing all these other events, it just kind of came with the workouts. I think I put on, probably about 25 pounds since I came up here, and I'd say it's all muscle in my own words.
And you feel like it's paying off for you?
Yeah, definitely. I feel faster. I can definitely jump longer, jump higher.
I think Jade is sitting, what, 4th or 5th in the conference in the HEP right now.
And then 6th in high jump.
6th in the high jump. So he's in really good position right now. We just got to get him healed up, and he'll be ready to go here at the end of the month for the conference. So that'll be pretty exciting to watch. Right now we have, I think, 3 of the top 5 spots in the HEP.
Are you visiting the career fair today?
Yep. Right after this, actually, I'll go to the career fair. There's a couple companies I've been talking to pretty much since my freshman year, and I'll go visit them. And, I've gotten interviews the past couple years, just haven't found the job that I really wanted. So I work with my brother and my dad, and we do construction, and that's kind of the field I want to stay in, is some kind of construction and manufacturing.
All right. Well, next up for us, we're still working out some of the details. We're going to kind of spread out through a few different meets. So for sure, we'll have some people over at South Dakota State. We're working on it right now, just trying to get some logistics figured out. But we're off this weekend, and then February 12th, we're going to try and hit it hard and see if we can't hit some really good marks going into the conference. So we have to be top 18 declared in an event in order to get in. So that pretty much means you have to be top 18 to 20 in the conference. We've already got several events where 15 slots or so are taken by people who have provisional marks for nationals, so it's going to be pretty competitive. Yes?
Looked like you had quite a few scholar athletes.
We do. We had, 48 scholar athletes out of about 60 on the roster right now. So they do good work. Yeah, very impressive. Thank you.
Well, good. Still good morning. Hello to everybody. First of all, before I get started, I just want to thank everybody that made the games this weekend. What great crowds that we had. And just the support that we're getting is, coming off of COVID and no fans from last year and stuff. It's really exciting to see everybody in the stands. Obviously, Friday night was a big night honoring the scholar athletes and stuff. But coming around on Saturday, again, with real good support. And we really appreciate it. I think our guys, even though we didn't come out on top, I think if you watch them, and I watch them on tape, and I tell them this, I told them this after the game, and I told them again after I watched the film on Monday. I really enjoyed watching how hard our guys are playing. You know, they're really working hard. Obviously, we come up on the short end of the stick 2 nights in a row, but 2 very competitive games. New Mexico Highlands, you know, very deceiving record. Not really sure why they are where they're at. I think you see them, you can see that they're an extremely talented basketball team. And, you know, and finally one of their sleeping giants woke up at the wrong time for us. You know, number 55 for them, you know, he was shooting 15% from 3-point on the season and was leading them in attempts. And so all of a sudden, it's like his coach said after the game, he just gave me the hands, he goes, it was bound to happen sometime. Because I think he's been waiting for it all season too. He's a much better player than that. And we knew that going in, you know, but at the same time, you know, he's really good at getting to the basket. He's really good at getting to the free throw line. You know, I thought we did a pretty good job of guarding him in those areas. We got him to shoot the shots we wanted. I mean, you know, when a guy starts hitting shots from the volleyball line, you know you're probably in trouble for the night. And so he's just a really good player. You know, he was actually originally recruited out of high school at Boston College in the ACC Division I. And so, I mean, he's obviously has a great reputation as a good player and has ended up at New Mexico Highlands. So, you know, we're going to get a chance to see him again down there, and I still think that we can go down there. And as we talked about, is continue with our game plan, maybe get on him just a little bit better. You know, you can't get crazy with him because he's really good getting to the basket. But, you know, I thought we did a really good job on some of the other guys on their team. And offensively, boy, we were really executing extremely well. We were shooting over 50% from the field. And the only thing that we really was disappointed in was the way we took care of the basketball. We ended up having 15 turnovers off ball handling errors. And a lot of them were just kind of unforced, just some error passes and some things like that. So those are some things that we wanted to clean up going into Saturday, because we played a team that actually pressures you a lot more defensively and actually turns teams over a lot more in University of Colorado Springs. And the next night on Saturday, and we did a great job. We only turned the ball over 8 times. And so obviously it's one of those things, it's a focus thing that we just got to do a better job of. And so I was really happy though for our guys to be able to turn around that next night, and knowing that they're going to face a better team defensively as far as turning people over and take care of the basketball. Unfortunately, on the other side of it, we didn't shoot it as well as we did Friday night. So I think you kind of see with us right now is consistency is a big deal. We just got to be a little more consistent. We have some moments where we're playing extremely well. And so, you know, it's just that consistency thing. It might have a little bit to do with our youth. You know, but at the same time, you know, our guys have played a lot of basketball now. We've got a lot of guys now that are basically, they probably almost played as much as some juniors in the conference. So, you know, we got to start kind of turning that corner, and that's the big thing we're pushing for now, is being able to play continuous games and even just half to half more consistent basketball, specifically on the offensive side. Our defense has been really solid, and quite honestly is what's kept us in most of our games. We've rebounded really well. We've played really good defense, and so it's just that offensive component where we've shown flashes of how good we can really be, and at the same time, but we're just not quite consistent with where we need to get to on that. And so that's what we're striving for. And again, this weekend coming up is 2 great opportunities. Again, it's on the road, but boy, I tell you what, I told our guys, I feel like we match up really well with both teams, and I think they're just great opportunities for us. And what's crazy is our league is just nuts this year. Everybody's beating everybody. You basically got 2 teams at the top that have kind of separated themselves, but after that, anybody can beat anybody. And quite honestly, anybody can beat those top 2 teams. You know, Regis twice, we've had them on the ropes and just didn't give them the knockout punch. And, you know, and Black Hills, you know, was what it was, but we'll get another shot at them yet too. So, you know, going into after the weekend was cleared and we saw everything that happened, we actually ended up in the exact same spot where we started. And so we haven't lost any ground. There's a great opportunity probably to put us in a really good position into a playoff spot. But we didn't lose any ground, so now we're going into this week again, basically in the same spot. We're just really excited still to have that opportunity to play meaningful basketball games here come February. And I think we're still improving. That's the thing, is that we still want to play our best basketball here coming up this next month. And I think we're kind of, you know, we're slowly doing that. And, you know, it's just a matter of we can get that consistency of it. And so I'm excited about it. And, you know, our guys, I was really happy because, you know, I didn't know how they were gonna take it, and Keegan can probably tell you that too a little bit more when he comes up here. You know, Saturday, after a really disappointing loss, leading most of the game and losing that lead at the end, boy, they came in with just really great enthusiasm on that Saturday, and I think that showed. We really competed hard on Saturday, and then I was kind of worried about it yesterday again. And you know, our guys are just really resilient, and you know, we keep telling them as a coaching staff, guys, keep fighting, keep working. You know, we're enjoying the heck out of coaching them because they're coming every day with really good energy. And you know, and I guess that's maybe again, maybe a little bit of their youth is that they kind of see that hey, we're getting a lot of experience and we're really improving. We just haven't got over that hump consistency-wise, and once I think that hits, you know, this team's got a chance to be really, really good because we got some really good performances. Obviously, Ollie had a couple really nice performances this weekend. Mortensen had some really nice performances this weekend, and Brevin Walter even had a really good night on Friday night there. So, you know, we're getting some really good performances. We just got to, like I said, I keep saying the word, it's redundant, but it just comes down to just being more consistent. And as soon as we kind of get that component figured out, boy, I think we're going to see some really good things. And we're hoping that it happens this year. And it's not one of those things where we got to wait for one more year. But I think we could do it this year, I really do. And if we can find a way to get in those playoffs, I don't know too many teams, you know, I hear every coach tell us, boy, we do not like playing you. You guys, they like what we do. They know that we're going to defend them really hard, and I don't think there's too many teams who'd like to see us in the first round of playoffs as we come at them. So that's what we're at. You know, before I bring Keegan up, is there any questions or anything from anybody? Yes?
How do you travel this weekend? When do you leave?
We're actually leaving tomorrow. We're hoping when we get there, we're going to end up flying to Salt Lake. And, you know, Coach Jerry here has actually been the travel guru on that, so it's been really nice. She's taken care of a lot of that for us. So, but we're flying over there, but there is a big snowstorm coming into Denver, which is pretty typical. The last time we flew to Salt Lake, coming back, we got exactly about 1,000 feet above the airport, and we had to turn around and go back to Denver. So we're hoping that we can get there cleanly and not have to maybe show up on a Thursday, but you know, we'll see how that works. And but no, our guys have been working hard to make sure that they're all caught up on their studies and set ahead. So, because we are going to miss quite a bit of school on this one. So, yes, Tim.
Remind us, playoffs is the top 8.
Top 8, yep, top 8 out of the 15 go. You know, and you know, we as coaches, I know, have really been pushing for this to get moved to 12. And so, and I can say that because Joel's on my side with this. So, but you know, it's, and I think, you know, over the last 4 or 5 years, there's a tremendous argument for it because the parity in our league is just tremendous. And there's a little bit of an unbalance in our schedules because not everybody plays everybody twice. And so when you're playing certain teams, not twice and things like that, I just really think that when you have the parity that we're having in our league, that, you know, at least 12 should be making it to it. So I'm going to keep being an advocate for that. I know most of the coaches in the league are advocates for that. And we have a lot of, like I said, a lot of the athletic directors are advocates for it as well. We just got to find a way to make it work. And because it's a cool experience. You know, NCAA, we always say, is about the experience. And so I think there's nothing wrong with giving kids an experience to play in a tournament atmosphere too. I had another hand. Yeah.
Just you coming on Bryce Sherrill, he's kind of come into his own here the last several games as well. It's been fun to watch him out there.
Yeah, you know, Bryce is a guy that, you know, the funny thing about Bryce is Bryce didn't start playing basketball till he was a freshman in high school. So he is really a guy that has, you know, a lot to develop. And if you've noticed him, he's a very athletic young man. And so, yeah, his feel for the game really is again, that experience component. Last year was a tremendous growth for him. We had him on the scout team, and we made him play point guard, so he had to improve his ball handling skills and things like that in practice. And I think that was really beneficial. Plus, it also made him have to learn how to make plays off the dribble and as he got to the basket and stuff. Because in high school, with his athleticism in western Nebraska, you know, he basically just jumped over guys. You know, and so the thing is, and just shot over him. And so, you know, in college, that he can't do that every single time. You know, he tries sometimes still, you know, and he kind of learns the hard way. You know, that there's guys that are 6'8" and with 6'10" wingspans, so that's a little different. You got to learn to get angles and how to use that. But you know, he's and I think really a lot of our guys, we work tremendously hard on when we get in the lane, how to make some moves, how to use shot fakes, going off 2 feet and those kind of things. And you know, if you really watch this, there's been a tremendous growth from first semester to where we are right now on that. And we're starting to finish a lot better around the rim, which is going to help us. Anyone else? Yes?
It's a compliment to you and your coaching staff. Every time we come to the game, Glory night, we love it because we know the kids are going to play hard and they're exciting to watch.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. And like I said, we really appreciate everybody sticking behind us. We're not where we wanted to be at this time of year, but it is what it is. But at the same time, you know, we have had some good games along the way, and we've got some nice wins along the way that's been able to put us in a position. We're still in the hunt for a playoff spot, and boy, if we can just find a way to get into that, that would be really exciting for us. So appreciate it. All right, Keegan, come on up. So I brought Keegan Smith with me today. Keegan here, we've kind of bounced him around a little bit. Last year he played a wing spot for us, and then we started him at the wing at the beginning of the season, and we just felt like we were going to move him more to our stretch 4 position, which is more of a screen and pick and pop type position. We felt like that fit his kind of skill set a little bit better. And so we've kind of been developing there. The thing with that about him is that he's never really played that kind of position before. He's always been a guard. And so with our 4 spot, a lot of times we do like to post up our 4-man. And we like to post up our guards too, but we like to post up our 4-man probably more. And he'd never really done that before. So he's been kind of learning on the fly of how to do some things in the post. He's obviously really good at the pick and pop and knocking down the 3 for us and stuff. But you know how far he's come is that this weekend, you know, and I tease him, he's left-handed. If you've watched him, you find out he actually hit a right-hand jump hook, which we have been on him about a lot lately. So that's growth. That's the process, you know, that we're looking for. So really excited, and he made it too. He didn't just shoot it; he made it. So that's good for him. And but we're really excited to have Keegan here. It was quite a find for us because he wasn't an easy person to find because he moved in high school all 4 years. He didn't go to the same high school of all 4 years. And so, you know, it was quite a find for us to catch him in Minnesota in his final year and get him to come here. And obviously he wanted engineering, and that's a nice fit for him here. And I'll let him kind of finish off that little talk right there. So it's all yours.
I'm Keegan Smith. it's my 2nd year here. I think I'm classified as a junior academically, but still a freshman basketball-wise, so all over the place, just like how I grew up. I lived 15 years in Illinois, and then I lived 1.5 years in Michigan, and then finally settled down for another 1.5 years in Minnesota before coming here. So yeah, all of those different schools, those different journeys has kind of helped build me to what I am today. And being able to be at a school like this is amazing too. Being able to study what I want to study, and it's going well so far. Like Coach said, I'm playing basketball here. I've played 3 different positions at times, which is a learning experience definitely. But being able to get all those different experiences gives you a feel for the game that you can't get any other way. And I'm also one of those guys that he treats like a junior because I'm playing so much. But he won't let me have it. So, but yeah, it's been a really nice experience. Academically, I'm an industrial engineer. I'm studying industrial engineering and engineering management, and it's going well so far. You know, some of the guys in that program, Dr. Kirk, Dr. Piper, really helped guide me the right way, and I'm thankful for them. So, you guys have any questions? Yeah.
The kids on the team seem to really like each other. You can see the support you get if you're on the bench or out there playing.
Yeah. The guys on the team have grown into like a family. All those guys are definitely family. Whenever we're not doing school or doing basketball, we're still hanging out with each other, whether it be studying together or, you know, doing whatever we want outside of basketball, having fun. It's great. It's definitely a family aspect. Anyone else? Awesome.
Are you going to the career fair today?
I'm not going to the career fair today. I already have a couple. Companies talking to me, and I had an internship last semester with a tenant company out of Golden Valley, Minnesota, and it was a really good learning experience for me. So I think I want to be able to move on and get a broader experience of the future and see what it has for me. So, yeah. Appreciate you guys for coming out.
You know, he's obviously a bright young man. You know, he came in, for those of you that went to mines know this, how impressive this is. He came in his first year and took Calc 3 right off the bat. You know, so obviously, you know, and to go around to 4 different schools and be that prepared to take Calc 3 your very first semester of college, that's pretty impressive. So, you know, that says a little bit about Keegan and his work ethic, and, you know, and his be able to, you know what his path is, and pretty focused young man. We're, like I said, we're really excited to have him here. So, thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm going to kind of reiterate what Coach Glenn said about saying thank you to everybody that came out to our games this last weekend. It sure is nice to be able to play at home. We had a great crowd Friday night, and Saturday, you know, we had a great turnout as well. And for us, you know, the season hasn't gone the way we wanted it to, so to have everybody continue to come and support us is huge. For those of you that were there or watched, you saw that we finally got our mojo back a little bit this last weekend, and really showed what we're capable of doing. And that was, you know, as a coach, that's something that's really exciting, because that's what we've pictured our whole season to look like, is Saturday's game. And so we finally kind of got there, and I think our team has gained a lot of confidence with it, and I think, you know, we've got some good momentum rolling for the rest of February. What we've been talking about and really emphasizing the last, how many games? Is getting a good strong start instead of digging us a hole. And Saturday, I don't think we could have had a stronger start than 27 points in the first quarter. And I think for a while we were in the 20s and they were at 13. We let them score a little bit towards the end of the quarter, but for the most part, you know, that was probably one of the best first quarters we've had. And so it was nice to see that growth as well, of something that we've really been emphasizing and seeing them do it. We also talked about, you know, getting some easy shots at the beginning of games, and I thought Bailey Johnson and Madeline Heiser did a great job of getting to the rim, shot faking, because they were trying to block everything that we were shooting, and we got to the free throw line a ton. Bailey actually went 12 for 12 for the game. So that was good to, again, give yourselves a little bit of momentum and get some easy shots to get things going. Friday night, I guess I'll start with Friday night. We played Mexico Highlands, and we did not shoot the ball well from any aspect of the floor. That was the first time I think I've ever told our team to stop shooting threes. I said, I know this is going to come to a shock for you guys that have been here for a while, but quit shooting threes. We have got to get to the paint. We've got to get to the rim to get some momentum going and then take those shots. And we did a much better job in that in the third quarter, although they're very literal, so then they just wouldn't even look to shoot. In that third quarter, I'm like, I didn't mean never, I just meant not within the first 15 seconds, so we had to revamp exactly what I meant in one of the timeouts, and came out, and then you guys got to see Piper Bauer kind of go off a little bit, and she ended with 7 threes on the game. And she kind of got into a flow, and she's a fun player when we can get her open and she can knock those down. So she had a great night for us. Got a win. It wasn't pretty, but we got a win. And then Saturday, the team came in and they were really excited about UCCS, and they loved our game plan, and we executed excellently defensively. Thankfully, we didn't have the same issue that Coach Glenn and the men's team had. They don't shoot well from 3, and thankfully they played like that Saturday. We didn't have anybody step up and make a lot of threes on us. So, but I'm just really proud of our team for how they executed. We're excited for this weekend. You know, we've always played Westminster and Colorado Mesa really, really well. Last year we got Westminster at home, beat them kind of in the last 30 seconds of the game. So excited to play them again and then head to Mesa. I was the travel guru, but if things go wrong, then I'm probably the one that they'll look at and be like, why are we flying? Why did you decide it was a good idea to fly in February? So hopefully tomorrow everybody sent good vibes our way. Also kind of exciting, I have a lot of fun facts about Kaden Davis, who I brought with me. It's Kaden's first time on an airplane.
It is.
So we're excited about that. So hopefully it goes well for her. She might never get on an airplane again. But yeah, we'll fly down there and face those 2 teams. And like I said, we've got good momentum now. Our team gained a lot of confidence, and
what we're doing, and it also helps having everybody back in a uniform and having a full week of practice with that. So we're glad everybody's healthy and ready to go and moving on. I'm going to brag about our academics a little bit. We had a lot of scholar athletes recognized Friday night, and then the Armac honor roll was just released yesterday, which is you have to have a GPA of a 3.3 or higher, and you can't be in your first year at the institution. And we had 7 of our players hit that mark, and they're also all above a 3.5. So all 7 were above a 3.5. So that was really exciting for our program. A testament to the hard work that our young ladies put in the classroom, even with all the classes that we've missed. And then on top of that, Ryan Weiss was named the Armac Academic Player of the Year, which is a very prestigious honor. So very proud of her for all of her work that she's done, and proud of our program as well. Now, along with that, I'm going to introduce Kaden. And I asked her beforehand if it was okay if I shared this. One of my favorite recruiting stories is when we were recruiting Kaden, and we were telling her about the school and how much it's an academic institution and classes are hard and stuff like that. And Kaden was like, "Coach, I'm smart, but I'm not like 31 ACT smart." And I said, "Kaden, your ACT is just fine for this school. You're going to be just fine. When you work hard enough, you'll be great." And then yesterday she was named to the Armac Academic Honor Roll. So you're doing just fine, girl. You're doing just fine. But with that, I'm going to let Kaden introduce herself, talk a little bit about herself, and if you have any questions for either of us at the end.
Hi, like she said, my name is Kaden Davis. I'm from Buffalo, Wyoming. I'm a sophomore academically, but I'm a freshman within basketball due to some injuries. My major is pre-health, and my plan is physical therapy. I kind of chose this school based on location and the connection that I was able to make with the coaches and the players. She recruited me my senior year, and I've loved every second here. I love the Black Hills, and I really like the academics that this school has to offer. It really pushes me academically and athletically, and I just love any challenge. So I was excited for that. This year, as a team, obviously, I would say it hasn't gone exactly how we expected, but it was super exciting to have everybody back this past weekend. It's actually the first time having everyone healthy and able to play except for one medical red shirt. So that was really exciting. And this last weekend, I would say it was kind of a turning point for us. Obviously, it came a little later in the season, but we still have about a month left in the season. So there's a lot of games. I think there's, eight games? So there's a lot of ground to cover. But yeah, it's exciting. So
I'll brag a little more on Kaden, just of how tough she is. She tore her ACL her senior year of high school at the beginning, second game of her senior year in high school. On track to probably be player of the year in 3A at Buffalo. And she had ended up committing to Sheridan College, and Sheridan College cut their athletics in July, right before school started. And so that's when I called her up, because I loved Kaden, I loved her work ethic, and called her up just to see, hey, how you doing? Are you doing okay? Do you have somewhere to go? Son had worked out, she ended up coming to us, but her rehab process has been a long one compared to other people's. And so coming from a smaller school where speed of the game is a little bit different than college level, and then also coming back from the type of ACL tear that she had was huge. And so you haven't even seen a fraction of what Kaden can probably bring to our program, because she's still in that learning process and that growth process, and working through her rehab and her injury, and then also just working through the speed of the game. So we're excited about what Kaden's going to be able to do for us, and that she's got 3 more years with us. All right, any questions for either of us?
I
yes.
have a question, comment, just like I mentioned to you Friday night. It's good that you got the full bench to work with, and it's fun to watch, because no matter what 5 you have out there, they all play well together, and it's just been fun.
Yeah, no, we've continued to show up at every practice, and no matter if there's 9 players that can practice or 12, everyone just continues to show up and work super hard, and we all get along super well. They're my best friends, so.
All right, well, thank you guys. Again, pray for safe travels tomorrow.
I think I can say good afternoon now, Coach. I think it's past noon, so good afternoon to everybody. Jade, I do the same thing. Whatever Anita tells me, I just do it. She gives me stuff, I sign it. She hasn't been smart enough, though, unfortunately, to put her big raise in there yet. Did I hear it yet? Well, maybe, we'll see. It's watching the academic stuff come out, watching the career fair going on campus right now, really gives me a sense of purpose for what we do, what I do. I strive to be an ultimate servant leader for this institution, for our athletes, for our coaches, and for our community. Some things go exceptionally well when a very deserving, very worthy Ryan Weiss gets named Academic Armac Player of the Year. A young lady who probably pre-ACL injury could have been the player of the year athletically. But I don't think, the first half of her season she was just trying to figure out her game, and now I think she's back to where she was when we all watched her the last couple of years. But she was up here and talked about adversity. The women's team has gone through all kinds of adversity. I'll back up what Kaden said. And I observed this just in practice and how the kids interact with each other. There has been no angst. There has been no tension. They've been fantastic. Coach has done a fantastic job of keeping them together and keeping them focused. I don't think the season has turned out the way we wanted it to turn out by any means. But there are small wins in each season, and I'm really proud of what they're doing and what the kids are doing on the court and in the classroom. I do wish all of our athletes the best of luck in getting a job, getting an internship today. If anybody's watching here, if you don't have an internship or a co-op, get in there and find yourself one, because there's plenty of companies that want to get our athletes in helping them out. We obviously didn't get vision funds. If you don't know that, you've been living under a rock, we didn't get vision funds. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to have a plan B. We've got a meeting tomorrow with the foundation and President Rankin and see where we're going to go next. I just come up, and if anybody has any questions for me, Scholar Athlete Night was absolutely fantastic. We had circled the court. We had 39 4.0 GPAs out of 199 Scholar Athletes. As you all know, that's a tremendous accomplishment. And they just continue to make me, at least, proud to be their athletic director, our coaches and students. I don't think I've worked a day since June 2nd of 2014. So, any questions, comments? Anything you'd like to see me do more, less? Less talking? No. All right, thank you very much for coming. Appreciate you coming and supporting the athletes. And the games will be on our website, GoRockers.com, and cheer them on from your iPad or your computer. Thank you very much.